Well, hello, my soul friends. It's Victoria. I'm laughing because I'm here to talk about the new moon in Virgo, and I'll tell you what, my setup and preparation to be able to do this video was very much like this new moon in video happening on September 14th at 6:40 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm about to dive into that in just a moment, but first I want to welcome you to this channel, the Soul Nurturer. I'm not going to edit because you know what? The big message I always talk about is no perfection, only progress, right? Okay, so, and I love role modeling that for you, so I'm just going to keep going. The opportunities are abundant with this new moon. So welcome to the Soul Nurturer channel, a channel that birthed out of my heart and soul to you in 2020. I, like many people, were thinking, how can I contribute to what's going on? There was so much chaos, and little did we know that it was the beginning of a huge transformational cycle, and that's why I was called back to astrology. I've been aware of astrology. It's guided me since I was a kid, and I was always amazed when I learned about astrology younger and the way that it helped me know who God created me to be. And so in 2020, a lot of us were called to service, which is a good Virgo word, which I'm going to be diving into in just a moment. And I thought, even though I don't feel prepared, I'm like intuitively sending this message of Virgo new moon to you by the words I'm using. I don't know if intuitive is the right word, but I'm broadcasting, I'm pre-shadowing, I'm giving you a heads up. So yes, in preparation for what was unfolding, I pulled my practice of astrology out from the closet to help me and help others navigate these very, intense transformational times. So here I am, and if this is your first time coming to visit, stopping by, my first invitation to you is just pause with me for a little bit. How often do you let yourself just pause? Even though the video may be about 30 minutes or so today, take 5 minutes, take a breath with me. And if you haven't been here before, please do consider subscribing. If you're not sure, don't want another subscription, go visit some of my other videos to see if what I'm sharing resonates with you, and then subscribe. And if you feel resonant with what I'm about to talk about, please do comment as much as you want. Unlimited comments. Let me know where you're viewing from, how any takeaways you have from what I'm sharing, and then of course. And the reason why I need to make that request is that it helps me. This whole channel is a service, an outreach of what I do one-on-one or in workshops or retreats. It's kind of my continual contribution, what I can do. There's a lot going on in the world, and a lot of us feel overwhelmed and helpless even. For me, I felt that too, and this is something I can do to ripple out to the world to help contribute towards collective healing and transformation. So, all right, commercial over. And if you are a regular subscriber and you regularly comment or send me emails, thank you. I see you, I honor you, and I'm grateful for you. Okay, so how are you feeling before we dive into the new moon? How have you been feeling in general over the last few days? Now, this is what astrology is. It's a soul tracking. It's tracking. I like to say soul tracking or soul gazing. We're gazing at what the celestial heaven is doing. What is the sun doing? What is the moon doing? How are the planets aspecting each other? How are they aspecting our personal natal chart? The natal chart is the moment you took your very first breath. You moved from soul into human experience. That first breath creates what we call your rising sign, your ascending sign. It's where the sun was rising at the time of your birth. And so there's this sort of energetic soul print, blueprint, soul print of who Creator created you to be and what was offered to you with that first breath to navigate this human experience. So if you don't know what your rising sign is, it's a little bit more challenging to know specifically where the lunation cycles, new moon or full moon, or any of the other transits will personally affect you. So you can go to astro.com and put in your own chart, take a look at where 21 degrees of Virgo is in your chart. I happen to follow, I work with Placidus, which to me is more precise. Whole sign is exactly 30 degrees per sign. So say I'm a 26 degree Capricorn, so my entire first house would be Capricorn. That doesn't fit for me. I completely feel the Aquarius in my first house. And so I'm going off on a tangent, but if you want to know more about your chart, I'm still offering free. Yes, that's right. Free. I don't want to say free anymore. I want to say I'm still offering 20 minutes of my pay it forward soul contribution to help others help themselves, and by doing so can help contribute even more. Okay, so look in the description. There's my website. You can go to my website. If you feel really drawn to me and you're ready to do some inner work, some soul work, some dream work, some reclaiming of your soul potential, then you know what? I encourage you to just sign up for a full session. But if you want to get to know me and we'll look at your chart, or we'll just talk about what's going on in your world and what I might have to offer you, just go ahead and request that 20-minute consultation. I am booking out until October now, but I will get to you, I promise. Okay. So much to share here, but let's just say this. You've got this new moon happening on September 14th. Eastern time, it's 9:40 p.m. Pacific time, it's 6:40 p.m. Okay, my computer's been glitching all day, and it almost looked like it crashed, but I got it back. Okay, this is Mercury on its way, coming out of retrograde the day after this new moon. So we've been in Mercury retrograde. Venus went direct. We still have 6 other planets in retrograde. It's been a time of slowing down. It's been a time of like having that thing we haven't wanted to look at in our face over and over and over again. You may have felt, I'm trying to add me into this mix because I know what I've experienced, but I don't know what you've experienced. It has felt for me, a little exhausting, and but when you surrender to the astrological weather and you say, okay, I'm not going to fight it, I'm going to see where it's leading me. Remember, I like to say, how is this working for me? So maybe I'm curious what you felt and what you've learned with this Mercury retrograde. If you watched my Mercury retrograde video, I still encourage you to watch it because you can review what you've learned. I was calling it being in Earth School, Life School, Earth School, where we were reviewing the lessons that were on repeat in order to learn the lesson, in order to evolve our potential, move towards our possibilities. Okay, so the day after this Mercury retrograde, the day after the new moon, Mercury goes direct. Yes, I've got to slow down. What I'm calling this new moon is preparing yourself for your possibilities. We've already been on alert. The universe, God, however you connect, has been saying, okay, you can do better. You can do better. And it's not meant to punish or make things harder, even though it has felt maybe harder. Maybe you felt like, inner resistance or resistance from the things you're trying to do, or obstacles and challenges. Well, my soul friends, this is how we build spiritual muscles. When you go to the gym and you do your workout, you don't do it one time and go, yeah, I'm super strong, I'm ready to go. You must repeat, practice over and over and over again, right? Training in a new way of being, training in the strength in your body. Well, we've been training in the strength of our mind, body, soul, right? So that we can be prepared for what possibilities are around the corner. And we're almost out of Virgo season. So Virgo season with the retrogrades, Venus and Mercury in retrograde, has felt more for me and a lot of people I work with, taxing. Really, like you couldn't escape what was you were being asked to do. And you could feel maybe, have you been feeling overwhelmed? Well, So whatever we notice is going on, I'm feeling overwhelmed. We want to look at what's the opposite of that. What am I moving towards? How do I move out of overwhelm towards what's the opposite of overwhelm for you? Calm, organized, organized. That's what Virgo wants to help you with, right? So a new moon, just as a reminder for those of you who are new, are when the sun and the moon are conjunct. And in this case, it's 21 degrees, both the sun in Virgo and the moon in Virgo. So they come together, right? And it's like joined forces. It's joined energy. The sun is our vitality, our energy, our consciousness. The moon is our subconsciousness. It's our emotions. It's our intuition. It's the masculine and feminine archetype as well. So how have you been doing? Have you felt stuck or in the flow? And I'd like to ask this because Virgo season can bring this. Have you been really hard on yourself? Maybe disappointed or regretting, and this could be all because of the Mercury retrograde too. We've been looking at what is not working, all the RE words, right? So we can't focus too long on what's not working. We focus long enough to say, I can do better. And as a side note, I've been saying to a lot of my clients when we do inner child work, your parents did the best they could, but you can do better. And you must do better in order to reclaim your soul potential and to contribute what is only yours to contribute, that is missing, unless you take the time to do your soul work, unless you take the time to review what's not working so you can emerge what is going to work better. And this is what Virgo New Moon's all about. It's about, again, preparing for your possibilities. I like to say, checking under the hood of your inner world, as we pop the hood in our car and check and see, how's the oil, how's the engine running? How's the engine of your life running? Your mind, your body, very much about moon in Virgo, sun in Virgo. It's all about health and organization and practical measures, practical day-to-day routine and rituals that support your life. It's the foundational stuff. It's, the new moon, we also think about planting seeds, creating intention. With this new moon in the earthy sign of Virgo, with a lot of earth, I'm going to go to the chart. One of these days, I promise, I'll learn how to show you the chart. I don't know how to do that yet. I'm not very tech savvy, but I've seen other videos where they show a chart, and that's cool. I'll get there. I'm a slow learner, but once I get there, I get there. Okay, so we've got Virgo, sun and moon, Mercury in Virgo, which goes direct on the next day, right? Then we've got Venus in Leo, which is now direct. We've sorted out some of our love life. Venus loves being in Leo, wants to express, be more affectionate, share your love from your heart. And Mars is in Libra, Jupiter in Taurus. So we do have a trine with Jupiter, and Uranus is in Taurus as well. So we've got some earthy goodness to support us, to ground us, but to also, with Uranus and Taurus, it's like shaking things up underneath us so that we can build better foundations, especially with Capricorn, also an earth sign. Pluto, also in Capricorn and earth sign, retrograding. And Pluto is at 28 degrees Capricorn, sitting in my first house. Thank you. Which is looking at the collective foundations. And we're seeing that in our government and the world, what foundations aren't working. So this new moon in Virgo that's another way to look at it. As we're preparing for our possibilities, how are the foundational systems of your life? From your car to your home to your day-to-day routine and rituals. And, we've been feeling all this, overwhelm and resistance and obstacles. We have been, back to my gym analogy, we have been in the soul gym, I guess, bulking and strengthening soul muscles, our spiritual muscles, however you want to think about it. Things like trust and faith and confidence, the things we need in order to be who we're created to be, to not only meet the possibility, but be prepared for it, right? So where are you not feeling prepared in your life? Where have you been avoiding, putting off things, that you need to look at. I just had an image of shoving things in a closet, and it's time to open that closet and declutter that closet and get your paperwork organized, and still purging time, still shedding time. Let this Virgo new moon help you organize your life where it feels lighter and more fluid and flowy. But do this with compassion, especially if you're feeling the critical energy. I mean, we could look around and be super critical of ourselves and others. It's the shadow side of Virgo. It's the, can always find the problem. It's, the shadow side of Virgo is the martyr and the perfectionist, right? Well, shadow is the wound. So if we heal the wound with some compassion and acceptance, we get to really be present to the gifts of Virgo, which is precision and discernment and clarity and practical choices, right? So it's streamlining time, okay? So if you're being too hard on yourself, I would say this. If you have a sun in Virgo or a moon in Virgo or Virgo rising or sun conjunct Mercury, you could have a little bit more, you see yourself with such a huge spotlight. In other words, you see all of your perceived flaws and imperfections when nobody is noticing that but you, okay? But if you are being too critical, I can do that. I can be that way for myself for sure. And we need to access the access point of Virgo Pisces. We need to go to Pisces, swim in some Pisces water. The compassion is there when we say, I am worthy of that. So when you notice you're being critical of yourself, swim in the soft waters of Pisces and offer yourself some compassion. Again, put your hand over your heart and imagine you're talking to the inner child inside your own heart or your best friend. You know how when we're talking to those we really love, we can find the beautiful, we soften our words, and we need to do that for ourselves and our own body and the way we talk to ourselves and our inner child. So if you're being, say, judgmental about other people around this time too, during Virgo season, if you're pointing the finger at someone else, remember that saying, well, the other fingers are pointing back to you. So you look like you did this, right? So, well, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? You've got three things to look at. For everything you judge in someone else, ask yourself, where does this apply to me? And be honest, be real. Virgo wants you to get real. Get real with your current circumstances so you can really expand to your higher possibilities. So let's see. What else did I have? What do you feel like is working against you? And remember to reframe that to, okay, how has this been working for me? Even the hard things, even I was thinking, I've reclaimed my gratitude practice. I used to do a gratitude practice every morning and every night. And I noticed I kind of let that go. And I noticed I was getting a little more negative and focusing on the things that were problematic. Well, gratitude says it's not we're like putting our head in the sand. It's like, yeah, I see the things I need to do and I'm grateful that I get to do them. And this is a powerful reframe I want to offer you. Instead of I have to clean my house, I have to do my bills, I have to exercise. No, you get to. This is your life. This is your body. These are your possibilities and your soul potential. No one's going to show up for you to do this. You get to. And what a privilege it is. What a privilege it is to be alive. What a gift it is to be alive. And I know I don't want to diminish what you're experiencing in this life. I know a lot of people are going through hard stuff right now. I have friends, dear loved ones who are grieving the loss of loved ones. My heart is with you. Nothing harder. So you can't diminish that. You can't spiritual bypass that. You need to be where you are. And this is where you're cultivating and flexing the spiritual muscles of faith and trust and things that make no sense, right? And, but right where you are, no matter what age you are, and I'm talking to myself right now because I felt a lot of pressure through Virgo season. You haven't finished that project. You said you were going to do that. Stop talking about writing the book. You're not even halfway through. And it was just like this, and I just had to just say, it's okay. It's where I am. And I'm going to trust I'll get where I'm meant to be. It's okay. So really offering up a lot of grace. Again, pace with grace, my friends. So I did want to remind you as I'm talking about this preparation for possibilities, what are the possibilities that are calling to you? We've got Sun and Moon opposite Neptune. So this could be, you could feel disillusioned, like whatever happened to that dream? Or in fact, I want to invite you, if you feel discouraged or confused or disillusioned, to dream a new dream, or to I'm getting an image of like wiping your glasses, the filter, or taking your rose color glasses off, and get real with Virgo, because Virgo is saying, okay, well, maybe that dream didn't happen, but I'm going to help you discern the proper steps and the proper foundation. Virgo's very proper, and help you prepare to not just dream the dream, but to achieve the dream. Okay. So again, this is coming to help us and not hurt us, and to support us and to help grow us and all these things. So that quote though comes to mind: success happens when preparation meets opportunities. I didn't look it up. So if you know the person who said that initially, and put it in the comments. And also, when you hear me speak, I'm such a quote queen. I love quotes. Share your favorite quote that feels resonant to what I'm talking about. Put them in the comments, okay? And feel free to ask any questions, okay? I love questions. Okay, so I've already talked about this. Many of us have been pushing against these obstacles, experiencing resistance in ourselves and our outer world. Why? So we can bulk up our spiritual muscles, okay? It's true, like with actual, I'm not by no means a gym rat, but I do know enough about, when you break down your muscles, that's how they grow stronger. And that resistance training also helps train your muscles, strengthen your muscles. So we are bulking up our spiritual muscles, being prepared for where we're growing forward to. We're almost out of Virgo season. The sun will move into Libra on September 22nd, like almost before midnight on Pacific time. So 22nd, 23rd, depending on where you are. The autumn equinox. And this is, Libra season. We're preparing for more balance, harmony, beauty in our lives. So this is all good, right? I feel it. I feel like, that when I look at the astrological weather and I look at all the players in the chart, I think of them as our helpers. Think of this moon in Virgo, sun in Virgo, coming to help you. What project do you need to see with new eyes, with more clarity? And you can take this, like, go into your inner world and say, how would Virgo help me? How can Virgo help me? How can I get more organized? How can I become more practical? What do I need to let go of? Streamline, clear, put some processes or procedures in place. Clean up my budget, clean up my closet, clean up my diet, clean up my inner world, right? So how can our friend Virgo come? What is this helper Virgo coming to help you with? Now, again, you can look for more precision. I'm talking about in general. What house is it falling in your house? If it's the first house, it's more about you, your identity. Second house is cleaning up, organizing around money, resources, your self-worth. Third house is all about communication, interactions with siblings, short trips that you may be going on that you want to fine tune, discern, map out, right? Fourth house is our home. If this new moon falls in your fourth house, that's what's being illuminated, is how can you, really take good care of your home a little bit more, do a deep dive cleaning, put some everyday procedures in place, do a Kanban. Do you know what a Kanban is? A Kanban is this wonderful organizing system. It's like a to-do list, but with it's action oriented. Look it up. Kan. dash BAN. And I love, my husband and I do Kanban style with cleaning our house. So, there's a to-do to mop the floors. That gets moved to doing and then done. Okay. So your fourth house, that's if it's falling in your fourth house, 21 degrees in your fourth house, or your fourth house is ruled by Virgo. That's where your focus, the main focus is, although it's overall, right? Sixth house that's the natural home of Virgo. So it's all about health and service. And I do want to say this as a side note. Maybe you found overdoing it during this Virgo season. Remember, the martyr is the shadow side of Virgo. So if you've been overdoing it, now I always say that the distinction is don't sacrifice yourself, be of service. Service, not sacrifice. So this new moon in the sixth house, that's a question. Have I been doing too much, giving too much? And how this is a focus on your health and your pets. Sixth house and your day-to-day routine. Seventh house, relationships. So new moon in the seventh house, new love, maybe new commitments, new partnerships, and really getting clear and real about what works for you in a relationship. Eighth house is all about transformation. It's other people's resources, other people's money. So it would be a good time to really take a look at your own transformational world, and perfect time to, as the moon is in the eighth house, to see how you're bouncing off other people in order to do your own deeper dive, your own transformation. You may be so focused on other people that you're forgetting to focus on yourself. So where do you need to transform, and what intentions do you want to set for transformation? Ninth house is higher learning or philosophy. It's longer travel, like out of the country travel. And it is connected to spirituality and what we believe. So set some intentions around that. Maybe you want to learn something new. You want to take a class. You want to travel somewhere. It's time to make those travel plans, especially with Mercury going direct. 10th house is our public contribution and our there's a word that's not coming. Okay. 10th house. It's where we bring our gifts to shine into the world, to contribute. It's our public. It's about public. It's often associated with career. So we could say that 6th house is vocation in general. 10th house is our career. What our soul gifts are meant to be cultivated for. So if it's happening, this new moon in your 10th house, what new opportunities or what new intentions do you want to set connected to that higher soul call? And what practical steps do you need to get yourself out there to bring your soul gifts to the public? Okay. So 11th house is our friends, wishes, and dreams, and our community. And it's connected to where we want to contribute to the collective. So if the new moon is happening in your 11th house, then what have you been working on that you've been holding back, that you want to set some intentions around? Time to contribute, time to set up that lecture, that workshop, that nonprofit that you've been thinking about starting, or be of service. If there's something in your life that you've been wanting to contribute but you haven't found the time, make the time to go volunteer and do something, or spend some time with some friends, and you may meet some new friends that are connected to the next possibility of your life. And then the 12th house, the house of, I always think of it as the house of the mystic, the mystery, the subconscious, the invisible, secrets. And if the new moon is happening there, I think it's a call inward, to retreat inward, to really listen to your soul for the next set of guidance. Because when the new moon then goes into, or the sun and the next new moon happening, when the sun and the moon then move into your first house, then you're ready to shine through who you are, bringing your contributions. But first, being in the 12th house, it's a little bit of a retreat, an inner retreat, a good time to vision, a good time to listen to your nightly dreams, pay attention So I just did a spin around the wheel spontaneously. I'm trying to practice this more because it's not my strength. And I'm doing this to show you it's okay to practice. You don't have to be perfect. And practice makes progress. So there is no perfection, only progress. And give yourself permission, as I do, to make mistakes. We're all just learning and growing, and just like a toddler learning to walk for the first time, they fall and they stumble. Anytime you're trying something new, maybe you're in a new job, you're trying a new, you're learning a musical instrument, whatever you're trying to do, offer yourself some compassion and grace as you would a small child learning to walk. We don't say to that child, you know what, I don't think walking's going to work out for you. Forget about it. No, we don't. What do? We encourage them. We say, you know what? I believe in you. You're going to walk. So I believe in you. Whatever you're called to with this new moon in Virgo, you may stumble a little bit. It won't be perfect. It won't be pretty. It may be messy, but you're going to do it. And it's okay. And I believe in you. Hold that space of believing in you until you can more fully believe in yourself. All right, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that I offered you something that really just inspired you, ignited your potential. And I'd love to walk beside you on your journey of unfolding and emerging and reclaiming. Visit my website for more information, victoriajazwick.com. All right, I think I'm done. And I'm going to wrap up because I'm tired and I need a drink of water. And I'm going to practice some good self-care, which we all are called to do on this new moon. Much love and joyful, beautiful blessings to all of you. See you next time.